Good evening and welcome to the very first Fillmore Wind Band concert. We're glad you're here this evening and you're going to see something and hear something unique and entirely new in the greater Cincinnati area. The Fillmore Wind Band is made up of professional, semi-professional, and amateur musicians, but of the finest quality and chosen just for this ensemble. We'll present for you tonight a wide variety of music that uses the season of Christmas, as well as some of the greatest works written for wind band. As the group's namesake, Henry Fillmore, we will include in each one of our performances a piece of his. The first one for this performance tonight will be the Circus Bee. Written roughly about the turn of the century in 1908, Henry Fillmore included highly technical passages in his composition. His father, who owned a music publishing business in the Cincinnati area, allowed him, so making it kind of a celebration, to publish his piece, even though it wasn't of a religious nature. The Circus Bee also posted that Henry loved the circus, and this was his tribute to it. So sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy not only Circus Bee by Henry Fillmore, but the rest of tonight's program. Thank you.
By the 20th century, the days of composing for instrumental and vocal ensembles had all but disappeared, composers focusing primarily on one or the other. That has suddenly changed in the last 20 years with Mr. Eric Whitacre. He is as well known in the choral field as he is in the instrumental field. Many of his pieces written for one or the other group, and in the case of tonight's piece, written for a choral ensemble and then transcribed for the wind band. Lux Aramque was composed in 2005 as an a cappella choral piece and is now arranged as a wind piece. Whitacre's ability to take the sonorities and the timbres of the wind band and mix them in such a way as to make unique sounds without making unique or modern sounding harmonies is unparalleled in today's composing. I hope you enjoy tonight's performance of Lux Aramque.
At the age of 3, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart showed a remarkable love of music. He would listen to his sister Marianne's lesson and later improvise similar tunes and chords. Touring the great courts of Europe, under their father's tutelage, the children's talents were hailed with astonishment. By the time he was 12, Mozart had written numerous works, including 2 operas. As a young man, and no longer the infant prodigy, Mozart returned to Salzburg to the unsympathetic atmosphere of the Archbishop's court. Despite an uncertain financial position and poor health, Mozart produced a fabulous legacy of opera, concerto, symphony, choral, and ensemble music. The Marriage of Figaro Overture, composed in 1786, was the first of Mozart's greatest series of operas. The combination of Da Ponte's witty text and Mozart's sparkling music was irresistible. The premiere was such a success that the length of the performance was doubled by the many encores. The anti-Mozart forces rallied to sabotage the production by producing a rival opera, however, and Mozart's masterpiece closed after only 9 performances. The overture, in a bright presto tempo throughout, is a pure gem of spontaneous melody and skillful design. There are many contrasts of dynamics between the fast woodwinds and the triumphant horns. Brightly contrapuntal throughout, the piece ends with a rapid fugue and fanfare.
My name is Joe Craig, and I'm the band director at Beechwood High School in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. I'm also a saxophonist in the Fillmore Wind Band, and I'm here to talk to you about one of our pieces, Fantasia on the Dargezun. Fantasia is the 4th movement of Gustav Holst's 2nd suite for military band. Gustav Holst is a British composer best known for his orchestral work, The Planets, but among bands throughout the world, Gustav Holst's wind pieces are among the most significant ever composed. Fantasia on the Dargezun begins with an alto saxophone solo, and then it continues to move on in a lot of the traditional English folk tunes of the time, including piccolo and tuba duet at the very end of the piece. We hope you enjoy Fantasia on the Dargezun.
Sleigh Ride is a popular light orchestral piece composed by Leroy Anderson about a person who would like to ride in a sleigh on a winter's day with another person. The The composer had the original idea for the piece during a heat wave in July 1946. He finished the work in February 1948. It was first received in 1946 by Arthur Fiedler and the Boston Pops Orchestra. Although Sleigh Ride is often associated with Christmas, the song lyrics never specifically mention any holiday or religion. According to author Steve Metcalf in the book Leroy Anderson, a bio-bibliography, Sleigh Ride has been performed and recorded by a wider array of musical artists than any other piece in the history of Western music.
Leroy Anderson was born on June 29, 1908 in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and was best known as a composer of short, light concert music pieces, many of which were introduced by the Boston Pops Orchestra under the direction of Arthur Fiedler. John Williams described him as one of the great American masters of light orchestral music. His most famous pieces are probably Sleigh Ride and The Syncopated Clock, which was selected as the theme song for The Late Show and later used as the music for Final Jeopardy on the game show in the 70s. In 1957, Anderson orchestrated Meredith Willson's 76 trombones, inspiring him to write his own musical the following year, Goldilocks, which earned a Tony but not much commercial success. Anderson never wrote another musical, preferring instead to continue writing orchestral miniatures. Leroy Anderson was posthumously inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1988, and his music continues to be a staple of Pops orchestra repertoire. Some of his pieces, particularly The Typewriter and Bugler's Holiday, are also performed by many high school bands. A Christmas festival combines tunes from the secular and religious celebration of the holiday. Anderson has encompassed the joy, celebration, and solemnity of Christmas in his arrangements of Joy to the World, Deck the Halls, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen, Good King Wenceslas, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, The First Noel, Silent Night, Jingle Bells, and O Come All Ye Faithful.
Hi, my name is Justin Croushore. I play trombone here in the Fillmore Wind Band. I'm from Hebron, Kentucky. I graduated from Connor High School and Middle School. I'm currently a student music education senior at Morehead State University. I want to just take 1 second and talk to you about the Nutcracker Suite and Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky means a lot to me. He, in a world full of artists, has an amazing ability to be himself. You hear a lot of famous artists, whether it be composers, performers, actors, dancers, whatever, that they're like this great artist, but a little different. You know, a lot of people really focus on the people who set this path and then just go with that and kind of branch off, but not Tchaikovsky. He does his own thing, and it's really inspirational to me. Everything he wrote is just pure Tchaikovsky, and I absolutely love him for that. The work we're playing some movements from the Nutcracker, which is a very famous ballet of his, written in the end of his life. You'll hear it all the time. It, along with Swan Lake and Sleeping Beauty, are easily often considered the most important ballets in the literature, and him being Russian, there's a big connection there. We're going to play for you 3 movements from it. We're playing Trepak, which is a Russian dance, the Arabian dance, and Dance of the Toy Flutes. In the ballet, what these are little movements during the second act. The main character, the Nutcracker, who is transformed into a prince, is being escorted to a great ceremony, a great ball that's going on. And these little dances are kind of steps along the way, just little distractions almost, and they're really cool for that. And you know, we want to share this. It's the right season for this kind of work. It's very Christmas oriented, and it's a good way to lead into the holidays. I hope, and along with the rest of us, we all hope that you enjoy the Nutcracker.